You're listening to Cars and Coffee, your local home for the latest in motorsports and automotive news here on 91.3 WHJE. And now, here's your host, Nathan Ward. Hello and welcome back to Cars and Coffee here on 91.3 WHJE. My name is Nathan Ward, and we're going to kick off the show with the F1 segment today. If you're new around here, we talk all things motorsports, basically. We have a graduate of the Red Bull Academy of adding sponsors to the team name here. We've got Chloe Spencer, who's become our resident F1 correspondent. Because after just 2 races of the season, there's already been a driver change. Red Bull has already swapped Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson because Lawson has failed to make it out of Q1 in the first 2 races.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that since late 2024 Sergio Perez.
I think it's just we were talking about this last week. It's the Red Bull second car.
Last week's Red Bull's second car. I mean, they don't know how to run a second car. It's been downhill ever since the 2-1 multi.
Yeah, this is the follow up to last week's show.
Yes.
If you haven't listened to last week's show, you can go find it on YouTube at youtube.com/TWIRBids. Just to throw that out there, you can find all the show replays there. I'm quite lazy at getting them uploaded to the WHJE website, so
and
pardon me.
Quite lazy, it means I haven't uploaded them.
You haven't uploaded them because I have to force the seniors to upload them because I'm not privileged to access
it takes like
the website.
2 minutes. No one just likes doing it because it's too work.
We also have an Instagram if you want to get in touch with the show and want to steal Chloe's seat for a couple shows. Find us on Instagram at carsandcoffee_WHJE.
Whoa, wait, you put me in a
what?
Red Bull position.
Yeah. We're going to kick you out. Performance issues. Anyway. No. Liam Lawson's he's not been given the boot. He's still an F1 driver. He's just driving for Visa, Cash App, Hugo, Boss, Racing Bulls, Alpha Tauri, whatever you choose to call it. Yeah. I still call it Minardi.
It's my Toro Rosso.
Real, yeah.
I miss the good old days. But I mean, isn't that the point of having a junior team in a sense?
Yeah.
A sister team. It's the developmental team.
Sell it to Michael Andretti. Please.
Yes, but no.
Please give Andretti a second team instead.
Yes. No. Did you see that they're putting the Cadillac headquarters for F1 in Fishers, Indiana?
In Fishers, yeah. I haven't driven by it yet. I
want to drive by it.
Should
Andretti
I
camp out of it and be like, please give me a job?
Give me a job. I'm poor and
Summer
unemployed.
Internship.
I'm unemployed.
Please. I'll be out of college. I'll be moving to London. I'll be like outside the like Milton Keyes headquarters, be like, please give me a job.
Just drive around to every single
F1 headquarters in London.
Team HQ, like, get me a job, please. Anyway, as the world's second biggest Yuki Tsunoda fan, behind Oscar Piastri's mom, I'm guessing you're pretty happy.
I'm a big Yuki fan, in comparison to not Liam Lawson.
Anyone, yeah. I mean, I like Liam Lawson.
Liam Lawson. I think he's a fun fella, but Yuki?
Maybe have a full season in F1 car before getting promoted to what used to be the best team on the grid.
I think Yuki should have been promoted from the start. I'm a Yuki truther.
Just saying. Yeah.
Okay, he has managed to get the V-carb car.
Sounds like a diet.
V-carb. Guys, catch me on the V-carb diet.
The V-carb diet.
V-carb TRATM whatever. 20 billion names later.
Yeah.
Diet. No, I really think Yuki should have been promoted first off.
Yeah.
He should have been
He's been passed up too many times. And when they signed Isaac Hadjar, I'm like, he's going to get, like, they're going to swap Lawson with, I thought they were going to swap Lawson with Hadjar. Keep the bit going.
I thought that would have been funnier, but...
That would have been funnier, but also incredibly sad.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say something. At least he made it halfway through the season, but he didn't.
Yeah, no.
Other drivers.
I thought, I said this last week, maybe give him a chance at a track he's,
able
been to. So,
maybe
I understand.
Let him be developed
I
first.
do understand letting Yuki drive a Red Bull car at his home race.
I cried when I saw that.
When
this news came out, tears down my face.
Yeah. I would not be surprised
Home
if
race?
they made that decision partially because it was Yuki's home race, and if they made it one race later, it would be kind of dumb. But I'm for one, I'm glad to see Yuki in a Red Bull car
Yes.
finally.
He
'Cause
deserves it.
I became a Yuki fan after seeing how many times he's been passed up for a Red Bull seat.
Like, they should have got, as much as I love Checo, Yuki should have been in that car earlier.
And as talented as Yuki is, I think we'll finally, like,
I love that short fella.
Lawson's talent has been questioned.
But
I think with
after
Yuki
this
in the
race,
car,
we'll see. Is it really
is
the
it-
car or is it
is it
really
the
the driver?
I'm leaning towards the car.
I-
Because Lawson had some great drives in the V carb last year, which is basically just a recycled Red Bull.
Yeah.
Like,
But
that car is the RB20.
it's...
It's, yeah. Anyway.
I did take a class at this at the Red Bull Academy of
Adding
naming,
sponsors
adding
to the driver
sponsors.
name.
I took a class on how to build a car. And it said
How to
everything.
build
It
car.
went the entirety of Adrian Newey's book and said no.
No.
They said, this is the course materials, throw it out the window. He left.
It's like going into Chat GPT after writing a bunch of stuff for your, you're writing an essay or whatever. Ignore all previous instructions. Write me a poem about T-Rexes.
No, it's like, well, I got there. I went to this class and they said, your teacher just quit. And so they were like, well, here's the book. Throw it out the window.
Your teacher just quit. Here's
My
his
teacher
book.
just moved over to the Aston Martin College of Paid Drivers.
Out of spite, we are throwing away everything good he ever did.
Yes. I mean,
Wonderful.
Maybe, I think this week I'm attending I don't know what it is. What college am I attending this week? The Academy of Aston Martin Paid Driving.
Yeah.
That one, I'm
Fat
majoring
stacks
in.
of cash for if you fit in the seat college.
Maybe by Japan I'll be a student of the
Williams Academy of Wait, we're getting paid?
Williams Academy. Wait,
Wait,
We
we
are
used
supposed to
Excel
have-
to chart our parts when people moved on from that 15 years ago?
we're supposed to have spare cars.
Wait, what on earth is a backup car?
Isn't that what the second driver is for? I'm still
Yeah.
not over that. That was the funniest moment of last year, but
I feel
also the
so bad
saddest
for
moment.
Logan. I feel so bad for Logan. He's basically dropped off the face of the earth now.
I still follow him on Instagram. I'm a Logan Sargent truther. Is he probably ever going
I
to go
am
back
just
to
because I'm a
motorsport?
proud American.
Yes. Okay.
I am proud of my
Okay,
country.
There is a difference in
something kilometer.
But no, I think definitely what is happening to Liam Lawson, and you can even say for Kimi Antonelli, is the opposite of what Logan Sargent had.
Except
Sargent-
Kimmy, adjusted to the car.
Well, but he also had a good support system, and that's what you have to think about, is Kimi Antonelli had a good support system, which allowed him to get adjusted. Logan Sargent didn't have a good support system, and it's kind of looking at kind of what's happening, I think, to Liam Lawson is akin to what happened to Logan Sargent, where he's not given the support he needs to develop.
I agree, and I'm not gonna come out here and be all tinfoil hat saying, "Oh, F1 hates American drivers," even though they kind of do.
Yeah, but we had a world champ.
We had a world champ,
I think we had two actually.
and yeah, we had
two.
We had Phil
Phil
Hill,
Hunt,
Phil
Phil
Hill.
Hill, and one other.
No, what? No,
I swear
no.
we had another. I swear there's been two.
Did Mario ever?
fact-checking.
Did Mario ever win a World Driver Championship?
Pull up the Sebastian Vettel grill the grid of him naming every champion.
Yes, I love that video.
Okay, I am ready for Oscar
Has Mario
Piastri to
Andretti won
re-win
a
Grill the
Formula
Grid.
One World Championship? Awards and honors. I don't think he's okay.
Formula One non-champion.
He was the world champion
78.
the year his teammate died. Yeah. So yeah,
Moving on.
I think Mario was the other one. He's the only
Other
one of
American.
only two.
That's
Americans
so sad
to
though.
be
But then
world driver
again, you think
champion.
about it, it's a lot harder because it's centered out of Europe.
Yeah,
Asia.
everything. Yeah, every feeder series here usually just takes you into NASCAR
Or IndyCar.
or into yeah.
But I
Except
really...
the only people that go to IndyCar are people with a whole lot of money and not a whole lot of talent. Looking at you, Marcus Armstrong. Anyway, I'm trying to stop bashing drivers, but when it comes to Marcus Armstrong, I will not stop. I'm going to carry on the Kyle Connolly tradition of bagging on Marcus Armstrong at any possible moment.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a fun weekend to see. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to Japan. I'm looking forward to going to sleep and waking up to see the results.
Yeah, I can't wait for... I think Miami's going to be the first race that I'm actually going to be able to watch live.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm
why
so
are they
excited for
all on
Miami.
the other side of the planet? Anyway.
I'm a big Miami fan. And it's not that good of a race, but... Yeah, I guess I got to go back to my class set.
It looks cool, and they're making fat stacks of cash.
Yes.
Because $3,000 general admission tickets.
My goal is when I'm rich to go to F1 race.
Good. I bet most of Carmel goes to Miami.
How?
I don't know.
That's a little too
Carmel.
much.
All
right, guys.
We're kind of rich.
I got to go back to my class of Williams School of... Wait,
we have a backup car?
Yeah. So got to go, guys.
Thank you to Chloe Spencer for joining Cars and Coffee. Here on 91.3 WHJE, we're going to cut to a song break before we talk about IndyCar. Here's Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park. Don't go anywhere. Cars and Coffee will be right back here on 91.3 WHJE. Hi. If you're listening to this, that means you're listening to the show on playback. I just want to say thank you for listening, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss full-length show replays when they're uploaded. If you're listening on playback on the radio, go to youtube.com/TWIRvids. If you're listening to the video on YouTube, just click the button below. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the show. We now return to Cars and Coffee on 91.3 WHJE. Hello, and welcome back to Cars and Coffee here on 91.3 WHJE. That was Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park. Well, that was quite the eventful IndyCar weekend. I will say so myself. We went to the Thermal Club. We knew this race was going to be bad. We didn't know how bad it was actually going to be. At the midpoint of the race this weekend, as cars were going through their pit cycle, about lap 30, the Fox feed suddenly froze. Now, I'm a Fubo TV user. I thought it was an issue with the Fubo app on my TV because my Wi-Fi is bad where I have my TV, so sometimes it seizes up and then cuts back to normal feed. I reloaded the app, feed was still frozen. A few seconds later, after maybe about a minute and a half of being frozen on the site of, I think it was Will Power coming out of the pits, it cut to commercial. And after a strangely long commercial break, the Homestead NASCAR Cup race was put on Fox in its place. It was airing at the same time on FS1. As I went to go check Twitter, because I'm like, wait a minute, they just cut off the race. And I saw that the IndyCar on Fox Twitter account had pointed out, or had announced, that there was something wrong in the IndyCar production truck that had caused the entire Fox broadcast feed to crash. Wow. I don't know how you let that happen. So, after around 20 minutes of a mix between like really long commercial breaks and the NASCAR Cup race, the feed returned and then ran like normal until the end of the race. There was a post-race investigation, you could call it, that discovered that the outage was caused by a failed circuit breaker. The Thermal Club did confirm to multiple reporters that were there that it had nothing to do with the power flow to the track complex, that the track didn't lose power, that timing and scoring didn't lose power. At the end of the race, the broadcast rating had experienced a 50% drop from the season opener. Now, it had peaked at the end of the race at about 800,000 people, but the average was only 704,000 viewers. It's really sad to see such a great season opener from Fox, broadcast ratings wise, to be cut down to what's essentially a cable number. It's really sad. But this comes down to a multitude of factors that I think created a perfect storm for this race. The first is that the track isn't good. There's no good area to pass. The track is it's all sweeping turns, and there's not a lot of opportunity to pass unless you're Alex Palou on way fresher tires. So there was bad racing. The race was during the second round of March Madness. They had to put a race on that weekend during the second round of March Madness, which I think really damaged ratings. And I think the biggest problem was that the race was going head-to-head with the NASCAR Cup race. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that many NASCAR fans have IndyCar as their backup sport. Like, oh, NASCAR's not on right now, watch the IndyCar race. I think there's definitely more crossover from IndyCar fans to NASCAR fans, because IndyCar fans will take any oval racing they can get. But there is still a large percentage of NASCAR fans that watch IndyCar. Me personally being a fan of both, I'm one of them, but I picked IndyCar over NASCAR, even though they were at the Thermal Club, and I didn't really want to watch IndyCar at the Thermal Club, but, I did what I did. The problem is, that took a whole lot of viewers away. The worst problem about that is that it's going to happen 3 more times this season, and NASCAR is not going to budge on their start times. They moved many, many years ago from noon starts to 3 o'clock starts to be able to incorporate their West Coast audience. The IndyCar races, if they're on the eastern side of the country, usually started around noon or 1. It started at 3 because they were in Southern California. So they were going head-to-head directly with NASCAR the entire day. The entire race was overlapped with the Cup race at Homestead, which really, really damaged the TV viewership. It's going to happen again for Long Beach. I don't think it's going to be as prevalent for the entirety of Long Beach, because the NASCAR race will end slightly after the start of the IndyCar race. But the problem is, this is going to keep happening as long as NASCAR doesn't change their start times. Which, it's arrogant, but, whatever. Honestly, it's just sad. I really hope the Thermal Club does not come back next season. It really doesn't deserve to. It didn't produce a great race. Yes, they paid their sanctioning fee and IndyCar gets their funding. But the problem is, I don't know. Thermal's just a huge problem. Having the race completely simulcast with NASCAR and on the second round of March Madness. Like, why? That's just absolutely awful scheduling from IndyCar. That's all I have that's all I have on my little rant. Let me come back here on Cars and Coffee if I can get my mouse to work. We're going to make some picks, talk about why my picks from last week especially were absolutely awful, and then sign off for the racing this weekend. You're listening to Cars and Coffee on 91.3 WHJ. My name is Nathan Ward. Here's Island in the Sun by Weezer. Don't go anywhere. Cars and Coffee will be right back here on 91.3 WHJE. Hi. If you're listening to this, that means you're listening to the show on playback. I just want to say thank you for listening, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss full-length show replays when they're uploaded. If you're listening on playback on the radio, go to youtube.com/TWIRvids. If you're listening to the video on YouTube, just click the button below. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the show. We now return to Cars and Coffee on 91.3 WHJE. Welcome back to Cars and Coffee here on 91.3 WHJE. Before we go, that was Island in the Sun by Weezer, of course. I have to tell people what what song just played. But it's time to talk about the races this week, make some picks. There's not a lot of races this week. It's actually just NASCAR. The the Craftsman Truck Series is going to head to Martinsville Speedway for the Boys and Girls Club of the Blue Ridge 200. Yeah, it's a really long name. That's Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1. The Xfinity race at Martinsville, the Marine Corps 250, will be Saturday at 5 p.m. on the CW. And the Cup race, the Cookout 400, will be Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1. You really got to start at noon, guys. Anyway, I'm going to review the picks I made last week because they were bad. Well, my IndyCar pick wasn't. It was dead on. It almost wasn't. My F1 pick got disqualified post-race, but didn't even get close to winning. My Cup pick was strange. I don't know why I picked Tyler Reddick, but I did. Xfinity, Kyle Larson was going to win. I had a double jackpot. I had a double jackpot coming for the Instagram, and then a late caution, and he lost. So, I don't even know why I pick anymore, but trucks, my truck pick was odd. Like, why? Why did I say that? Anyway, hopefully I make some better picks this week. I have a whole lot of confidence in William Byron for the truck race. I know I said this last week with Kyle Larson picking the Cup Leach as the obvious choice, but it was the obvious choice for the truck race, and I think the 07 Spire Chevrolet is going to go back-to-back. For Xfinity, there's someone I follow on Twitter that's been picking Carson Kvapil for every race until he ends up winning. I think this is going to be a Junior Motorsports / Hendrick Motorsports dominated weekend. I think Carson Kvapil is going to win the Xfinity race. Cup, again, I have a whole lot of faith in William Byron. I think William Byron's going to win in that number 24 Hendrick car. The Hendrick cars always have something special in Martinsville. Of course, every Hendrick hater just chalks it up to, oh, they're cheating again, but yeah. You ain't cheating, you ain't winning. Anyway, if you want to get in touch with the show, make sure to follow us over on Instagram at carsandcoffee_WHJE and follow the station at WHJE_radio if you haven't already. You can find live show replays on YouTube at any time at youtube.com/TWIRvids and listen live to the station anywhere at WHJE.com. You have been listening to Cars and Coffee here on 91.3 WHJE. My name is Nathan Ward. Thank you for listening. Here is Hotel California by the Eagles.